The Animal Justice Party and their spokesperson, Robert McNeil, joins us now. Good morning to you, Robert. Nice to have you on.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for the opportunity.
Now, where are you based, first of all? Are you in Auckland or Wellington or Christchurch or where?
Personally, I'm based in Auckland, but we have candidates in both islands, 17 candidates across the country.
Yes, and you're standing, in seats as well as list?
Yes, definitely. We have 17 electoral candidates, including 4 in Auckland.
And did you stand at the last election, or is this the first election in which... I think you were in the last one, were you?
Oh, that's nice of you to think that. Unfortunately, we were just registered just before the deadline this time. We are brand new, brand new, just registered in August.
Okay, all right. Now, the Animal Justice Party would seem to me suggest that you are people who have a campaign for animal welfare and animal rights, which I think you've discussed. Do you think animals have rights? Is that the purpose and point of standing this time?
We believe that, New Zealand is long overdue for a voice that can uncompromisingly speak up for animal issues. We just want to be part of the conversation. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but New Zealand has the highest ratio of animals to humans of almost any country in the world. About 95% of New Zealanders, quote unquote, are animals.
Okay. Now, there's a part of me that instantly thinks that you'll all be vegan and vegetarians and that you do not like farming. Have I got that right, or is that just prejudice on my part?
We definitely do not like farming. We are very supportive of farmers. We would definitely like to see support for farmers to transition out of animal farming. But as I said, we don't pretend to have all the answers. We just want animal issues to be part of the conversation. So
you also believe that animals are sentient. I think I've read that cows and pigs are sentient beings. Cows and pigs sentient beings. Are sheep as well, or are they too stupid to be sentient?
I don't believe sheep are too stupid to be sentient. I think science has repeatedly shown and concluded that animals are sentient, that they're self-aware, and that even if we could discuss what their actual wants and needs are all day, they would definitely probably prefer to be alive rather than mistreated.
And what about fish? Are they sentient as well or not?
It is understood by science that they are definitely sentient beings, that they feel pain.
Okay, so that reads the next question. Am I allowed to eat them in your view or not?
We are not here to... Well, first of all, you definitely are allowed to eat them. It's considered normal in almost all societies in the world. But we're really not here to tell people what to eat. We're here to hopefully promote and articulate policies that will help animals. We're definitely not here. You'll see nothing, in our platforms that tells everybody that they're not allowed to eat animals.
Right. So you're not a party of vegans. You are a party of people who are meat eaters as well as vegetarians and vegans, presumably as well.
We are a party that welcomes members that want to see policies that will help animals. So there's definitely no requirement in our membership for people to be vegan or vegetarian. We have a wide range of members, all that, commonly would just like to see animals treated better in society. All right.
And what in particular, Rob, is your aim in standing? As I said, you don't have presumably you don't have a lot of money. You don't have high-profile candidates. You're not getting any coverage from the mainstream media that I can see at the moment. What is the aim and objective of standing at this party of the lot of you?
Sure. Well, we definitely are a minor party and a new party at this stage. As I say, we were just registered in August. Our initial aims were just to get registered and be on the ballot. We've since found that we had passionate people that wanted to stand up as candidates. And again, at the moment, we would be definitely regarded as a single-issue party. We haven't even had our first AGM yet to kind of get a full direction of members as to where they want to go. But for now, we're happy just to see the words animal justice on every Kiwi's ballot and animal justice candidates on 17 electoral ballots. And we will be here for the long term to foster discussion about policies that might help animals, from tenants being discriminated against for having pets to discussions around animal exploitation and animal testing and live export.
Okay, so I'm looking here. You want to end, some of your policies, you want to end intensive winter grazing. That's totally, not under conditions, just it's going to finish. End of story.
Yeah, the devil's in the details. Intensive winter grazing. We can't stop winter. We can't stop grazing. We can't even stop intensive winter grazing. But we'd like to be part of the discussion around these things. We find that the discussion changes when we're in the room. When there's a party that can speak up uncompromisingly for animals. For example, the Greens have great policies surrounding animals, but because of their nature, their coalition, their need to compromise, often those issues aren't pushed forward and aren't enacted.
Well, that brings me to the next one of another policy you've got, which is to end the use of animals in entertainment. Now, it was a Green policy, for example, to ban rodeos. But you're moving much further than that. You want horse racing stopped. I assume that means greyhound racing and anything in which rodeos that would use animals for any form of entertainment.
Yeah, we can't control these things. We can't say we can end it because we don't expect to be in power right now. But we think it's a good time to have a discussion about ending these things, and we'd like that discussion to include somebody speaking up unequivocally for animals.
Well, you're a bit more than that, though, seriously. I mean, you are talking about ending rodeo, greyhound racing and horse racing, aren't you? If you got into a position where your policies could be enacted, that would be one of them, wouldn't it?
That would be one of them.
Yeah, okay. Now, the next issue, I see farmed animal protection. You're not against the farmed animal, but what are you suggesting farm animals should have as protections?
We again think that there's just nobody speaking up for farmed animals. They're not generally treated the same way as other animals are, so their needs just aren't discussed at a level of politics. So we'd like to be there to speak up for them. There are lots of issues surrounding farm animals, the way that they're treated, whether they get adequate shade, intensive winter grazing, as you've said. Really, the whole point of our existence is to let animals have a voice at the table when there are issues that affect them at this point.
Earlier in our conversation, we talked about farming of animals and eating of them, but I note that your policy is the Animal Justice Party does not condone the use of any animals for food or other products. Now, that would seem to be that in actual fact, you don't want animals to be eaten at all.
We think that's the way the world should go. We would like to have a discussion around that, just recognising again that we're not in power, and even if we were, there'd be a robust discussion about it.
Well, you're a bit more than wanting a discussion about it. You've got down here again as your policy, and I'm reading it directly, you reject the need for animal agriculture. Now, that's a bit more than a discussion. When you reject something, that suggests you've got a very strong policy on that.
We definitely think that animals don't deserve to be eaten, used in entertainment, or exploited in any way. And we think that as a voice for animals, it would be inappropriate of us not to express those views. But they are views. We have empathy for other people's point of views, and we want to be at the table to have these discussions. Okay.
I can't imagine that particular policy is going to go down too well, just quietly, Robert, in provincial and rural New Zealand when our economy is so dependent upon agriculture. Have you thought of a way that we're going to earn money as a country if we are not going to have an agricultural industry?
We know that animal agriculture has a proud part of New Zealand's history and is a big money maker. We don't pretend to have all the answers. However, transitioning to a plant-based animal agriculture economy is a more ethical way to go. So we don't think that it's a reasonable argument just to say because we need the money that we should continue to do something that should be looked at and may be unethical.
Does that mean that somebody who farms currently is an unethical person?
Definitely not. We have total empathy for animal farmers. We know that it's the system, not the individuals. I used to milk cows as a teenager in the Bay of Plenty. I have great respect for the people that are involved in livelihood, and I understand the pressures of farmers, and that they're just doing what is normal and seen as necessary.
I
So
guess
we're definitely not against people.